It's Week 7 of the 2038 season, and we'll be watching the Oilers' leader at quarterback. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Oilers and the Elks, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
It is time for football as we welcome you to another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Thanks for having us in, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson, or should I say Dean Olson, because tight end U doesn't happen without you. And we've got a great matchup here. We've got two of the best at your position in the current game right now.
And Mike, when I came into the league, almost 20 years ago, there was a handful of really elite tight ends. But doesn't it just seem, especially over these last couple of years, every single team, at least the ones that make their mark and find themselves in the playoffs competing for Super Bowls, have a legit...
All right, we're just about set for football. The crowd is definitely ready. So are we. Off we go on EA Sports. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. So the visitors ready to go on offense here for the first time. They are led out by a man who's done this now for a long time. Their veteran quarterback.
Some games, the quarterback can just go out there and just take what the defense gives them. They don't have to necessarily create a lot of opportunities for their teammates to go out and perform, and they can still come away with the win. I think today, though, he's going to be asked to carry a little bit more of a load, make some more plays.
Right away, they're coming after him, and they get him. A sack on the opening snap of the game.
This is a defensive coordinator just testing the waters. How is your protection plan? Do you have a plan for any linebacker or second-level pressures? Well, I think we got the answer in this one because they had no answer for it, and you can bet he's going to continue to dial those up.
They'll try to get the running game going. His first carry. He's to midfield. A big run. They finally get to him and bring him down.
That's as dynamic a run as you're going to see. He gets really good initial blocking at the point of the attack. That springs him loose. But then it's just his speed and open field running that does the rest.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They'll throw out of the gun. That is brought in at the 10. And he's going to be taken down. Great chance to make an early statement here on the road. It is 1st and goal. From out of the gun, he'll throw. That is caught by the tight end. Touchdown, Elks. It's his 2nd touchdown of the year.
Well, Mike, I know I might be a little biased toward the position, but I'm happy to see them go his way early on National Tight Ends Day. And, of course, they're happy to go his way early and often in just about any game.
Now, for the point after. It's up and through. And the Elks will take a 7-0 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. A return now from the 4. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Houston offense heading out to the field for the first time. Leading this offense, their veteran quarterback.
Coming off a loss last time out, I think the #1 goal today, Mike, is he needs to make a bigger impact on the outcome of today's game. Last week, he was not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it was really just a modest performance. He was okay. Well, okay at the quarterback position is not a winning formula week in and week out in the NFL. They need him to be a difference maker. They need him to be a dynamic playmaker. He's capable of all those things, and if we can get that level of play out of him today, I think they can expect a different result than last week.
The blitz overwhelming the offensive line, and down he goes.
Quarterback's having a hard time establishing any sort of rhythm here early against this defense. He fails to connect on the first down pass. They give him another opportunity through the air on second, and it gets even worse. If they can't protect the quarterback and they can't get him some easy completions, it just makes everything for this play caller that much more difficult.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. That is intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Well, that's the fast start they talked about all week, Mike. You come out, you take the immediate lead with your opening drive. Your defense goes out there, they force a turnover early. All these plays allow you to just keep stacking momentum early in this ballgame. This game is far from over, but anytime you get out to a start like this, it is a lot harder for your opponent to battle back.
The Elks offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a real threat, not just with the arm, but the wheels as well. The NFL's leader amongst quarterbacks in terms of rushing touchdowns. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throw away.
Really nice start for this defense here early through the first quarter. 2 different players each recording a sack. Offensive line's going to have to get together on the sideline with their coach and identify where's the weakness in our protection. How can we get extra bodies and extra attention? Because we still got a long way to go in this one.
Got to get it to the 30. Here comes 3rd down. Back to throw. Downfield, got a man, and he's got it. And they're going to be set up right around the 10-yard line.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
To the ground, he'll get it again. Stop at the 6, and that sets up 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. To the back of the end zone, he's got it. Touchdown, Elks. The teamwork was just ideal there. Greg, we don't see practice all week, but we see it pay off in the game.
And when you have a wide receiver, Mike, that can operate near the sideline, it just increases the amount of space that quarterback has to work with. He knows that he can put that ball maybe a little bit further away from the defender, knowing he's got the guy on the other end to not only secure the catch, but to keep his feet in bounds for a touchdown.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Very good kickoff. Returnable from the 4. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. The Oilers offense ready to take over for their 2nd possession. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. They'll run to begin this drive. It's Edwards. And not a whole lot there. Up to about the 25. You get a look there at his numbers on the ground from a week ago. Here's a 2nd and 9. They run once more with Edwards. And he'll only get it to the 26-yard line, setting up 2nd and long. What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? They'll look to throw. This one is taken in downfield. big completion. It is a big-time play for Houston. And even 30 yards.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
Up the middle, here's Edwards. And he's able to sidestep his way forward and pick up 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll set up to throw. Now a screen set up for Edwards. And he's out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, out inside the 20. A pickup there of 25 yards. First down for Houston. To the right side, this is Edwards. And a good run there. Going to get him 5 yards.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. He'll drop to throw. He's got his man on the in route. Yes, take it in over the middle.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be 1st and goal. Now this is going to be a design run. They let him keep it. Trying to push the pile forward. He didn't even get to the 1-yard line. They stopped him short. No gain. They'll try it again from the 2. 2nd and goal. They go with their fullback trying to get it. A dive, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back, even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan. Everybody wants to take their opening possession and go down there and come away with a touchdown. But it's not always going to be perfect. You turn it over on possession 1. What are you going to do in response on possession 2? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
This one taken at the 7. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Elks offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he continues to show off his ability to run with the football when the situation calls for it. He is the NFL's leader in rush yards at the quarterback position. Not much happening there, just a short game. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll stick with him again.
Very positive returns on that run. I mean, really, the only thing not to like is that they weren't able to move the chains. But you know what? The way he ran there, I think they go right back to him and see if he has even a bigger carry in.
They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And he's not going to get the first down. Met and brought down in the backfield on 3rd and short. They do not get it done.
The idea here for this offense is you're not really thinking necessarily touchdown. You're thinking first down. Let's get a fresh set of downs here and reset. But in this case, they suffer a loss, and it brings up 4th down.
This will be returnable from his own 15. And he'll be brought down. Short return, and they'll take over there. The Oilers offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a first down. Right away, they'll set up to throw. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Thrown into a sea of bodies, but it's complete. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in, balls on time, results in a nice first down pickup. All week long, they stress, Mike, that we have to get as many defenders to this ball carrier as possible. They know he's going to make some guys miss. He's going to be hard to get on the ground, but you can see the effect of rallying to the ball as it had here. They're able to take him down, and they're able to do it for a loss.
Here's a 3rd and 10. Throwing now from the gun. He's got his man down the field. It is a big completion. And he'll be taken down.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
So the big play gets him down close, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Edwards. Trying to find a crease in there. It's a big pile of bodies, but he is going to come up short. Here's a designed run. Trying to find a crease in there. It's a big pile of bodies, but he is going to come up short.
You could see the quarterback, once he got the snap, he was looking for any seam, any daylight, but nothing materialized, and he's fortunate he got back to the line of scrimmage.
So they've been stopped twice at the 1. Can they break through here on 3rd and goal? They'll try and run. Edwards. And he will dive into the end zone. Touchdown, Oilers. So on 3rd and goal, they run it in. Sometimes, Greg, that's 4-down territory. They didn't need to do it on 4th down. Taking care of it on the 3rd down for the touchdown.
Yeah, and when you find yourself down here this close, Mike, you have to finish these drives off. I'm with you. I think he was going to give his back 2 shots there to punch it in, but he only needed 1.
So back to level after the touchdown. In time for the kickoff. From the 6, here comes a return. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The Elks offense ready to get back to work. This one, everything we could have hoped for to this point. All even at 14. They'll start this drive with 1st down. They motion the slot man left. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. They'll try to get this one on the ground. Here's a timeout, Houston. That's their 2nd, as they'll discuss what's to come as 4th down's looming. Here's the punter now, as he's on to punt for the 2nd straight drive. This fielded inside the 35. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Oilers offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. He'll get that into the hands of Cobb. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line. That's into traffic, but taken in. He's close to a 1st down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down.
Initially, when the quarterback looked his tight end's way, I thought he had a chance for a big pickup. He had nice separation there early. Let's give credit to the defense.
And he will score. Touchdown, Houston. A terrific play all the way around. Finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
Now the try for an extra point. He gets it to go, and the Oilers have broken the deadlock as they move out to a 21-14 lead. Still a little time. Final minute of this 1st half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Elks offense going to take over here in the final minute of this 1st half. They're searching here for the tying score, down 21-14. And they'll begin 1st and 10. Short pass taken in by the tight end. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes.
The offense goes from feeling really good about the previous play with a real nice pickup to then on the ensuing play ending up going the complete opposite direction. Really nice job here by the defense immediately getting back on track. What do the coaches say? Just play the next play, and that's exactly what they did.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. One final throw before the break. Quick throw, taken in. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this 1st half of play. So we have reached halftime with these two teams separated by a touchdown. As we'll head over to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He has the EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Michael, we'll get back to you and Greg in just a little bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And it's the visitors who are out in front in the 2nd quarter. The Tigers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the 1st half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the 2nd half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
Ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. This will be returned from the 6. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. Throwing now on 1st and 10. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. First time they've looked his way all game long. But he comes through with the grab and a first down.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
It is a big-time play for Houston. An even 40 yards. Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work 1st and 10. This one's going to be taken in over the middle. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. Motion man sent right. They'll look to run with Edwards. And he'll go down, back at the 4.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the first down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
And that is incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out front. Little test of wills up front, huh, Mike? I mean, who wanted this one more? Who would get off the line quicker? Who would drive the other side backwards? Pretty impressive that not only are they the ones that won the battle, the defense...
And that big offensive line, clearing space. He's in. Touchdown, Oilers. A lot of big bodies down there, but at the end of the day, the one that mattered, the one with the ball, finds the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, once that back gets the ball, Mike, he's just looking for a little crack of daylight, and he's thinking, I'm going to run into it and just hope I come out the other side. And in this case, the other side's the end zone, and they get 6.
No problem there on the extra point, and the Oilers have doubled their advantage. It is now a 28-14 game. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. From the 6, here comes a return. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The visitors' offense ready to see what they can do. And, look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast. And right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
Quick throw here is complete. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down. Now he'll run. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line.
This is an element to his game that we don't necessarily spend a lot of time talking about. He's not known as a traditional runner at the quarterback position. But when he has some space like he had here, he is more than capable of not only converting first downs, but picking up big chunk plays.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. A zone read here, and he's going to keep this himself. Whoa. And they'll finally run him down, but not before he takes it inside the 15.
This defense has had their share of troubles trying to contain this quarterback today, Mike. This time they go to the zone read. The defender goes after the running back, and the quarterback pulls it, keeps it himself, and has a huge gain for a first down.
A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's second down. Now this time they'll look to throw. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. Third down, 3 to go. And that is incomplete.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate. It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
Now return coming from the 7. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. The Houston offense going to make their way back onto the field. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with first down. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete. They'll try again. It's second and 10. They'll run it with Edwards. And the defense there to meet him. They'll hold them to 2 and bring up third down. And they will continue to go backwards. He's taken down for a sack.
Sometimes you just have to know when the play is over and live to play another down. He has pressure coming right at him, and instead of just throwing the ball away, he tries to escape, he tries to get creative, and he ends up losing a lot more yards than he should have.
The Oilers now set to kick this one away, as he'll hit this from just outside of his own goal line. And he's going to be hit and dropped right away. That's great coverage there. Winds up with nothing on the return. The visitors' offense about ready to take over once more. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with first and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. I think he's going to lose a yard. Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's second and 11. Now give on the ground. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up third down. So we are through 3. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Third down and 9. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down. The Elks getting set to punt. And some nifty running on the return. Picked up some good yardage before he was taken down. The home team's offense ready to take over possession of the football. They'll start out first down and 10. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught.
The drag route. We used to say this is day one install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the run after catch ability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains.
It's a pickup of 13 yards. First down for Houston. Now a handoff to Edwards. And that's good run support on the edge. Nice tackle out wide. That'll hold them to a gain of 2. Second down and 8. Again, it's Edwards. And he's going to have a first down. Good run down inside the 45-yard line.
Second down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. They'll come up on a second down and 8. He'll go left side here and complete this one. And that's a first down. It will be a gain of 8. On play action, he'll set up to throw. Got a man coming across the field. He's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah, Mike, I just think they're entering miracle stage right now, and I just don't think there's any coming back from this deficit.
The kicking team on for the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Oilers will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This one taken at the 7. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense ready to take over once again. Things not looking good. But see if they get the turnaround going here. They'll start this drive with first down. His throw left side is complete. And that's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8. He'll come to the line now on second and 2. They'll throw out of the gun. Throwing over the middle. This one is complete.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. They'll look to throw yet again. Throwing right, it's taken in.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on first down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in second and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the first down here? Or is the idea to just make third down manageable and take your chances picking up a key third down?
They'll come up first and 10 at the 40. He tosses over the middle. This one is caught. And he's going to be taken down at about the 30. They'll look to throw again. That is a gain of 15, halfway there as he's down at the 15. one knocked away. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
That's going to be incomplete. They cannot hook up there. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. And that is not going to work. Incomplete, and they turn it over on downs.
You find yourself down big. It's the 4th quarter. There's really no choice but to go for this at this point. But once again, this defense, they're up to the task, and they come through yet again with a huge stop.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And a nice run there. He'll be stopped just shy of a 1st down. A pickup of 9. Running straight ahead with Edwards. And he's going to pick up the 1st down. That's a nice run, taking it up past the 30-yard line. Slot man in motion left. Using the jet sweep for the fake, they run it up the middle. And he'll gain about 6 there as it's up past the 35-yard line. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. So the fans gonna head home happy. It's a win for the hometown squad. And it is a season sweep for them. They defeat their division rivals for the 2nd time this year. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone.
Choose the team you want to start your franchise with. Use the options on the left.
be a wet one. Glad you're with us. Mike Tirico and Greg Olson. Nice and dry here in the booth, but Greg, you've been down on the field and played in one of these sloppy, wet, rainy games. What is it like?
Well, it depends what position you play. For the offense and defensive linemen, they love it. It's a little bit slower. The defense is a little bit slower to react to the ball. A lot more runs, less pass protection. So for them, they're thrilled. But for anybody who has to handle the
Stage is set. Ball is on the tee. And off we go on EA Sports. This fielded at about the 9. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. So the visitors ready to go on offense here for the first time. Leading this offense, their veteran quarterback.
They find themselves coming off a win last week that came right down to the end, and the best teams in the NFL, Mike, they can win close games, and they can win different style games. You're not going to blow people out consistently in the NFL. The league is just too good and has too much parity. But the teams that are the best in one-score games, they're often the ones finding themselves in the best position come playoff time.
And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Got his receiver on the in-cut. He's got it. 15-yard pickup there. That's enough for a 1st down.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Here's the quarterback doing everything in his power to extend this play, and none of his guys could get open. You got to see someone separate, work with your quarterback, go into scramble second reaction mode, and also give some credit to the back end, doing a nice job plastering with their assignment, and he had no choice but to throw it away.
So after back-to-back incompletions, it is now 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. He'll try to run for it. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a 1st down.
And that just can't happen. 3rd and long, just understand, contain the ball, rally tackle, just get the ball carrier on the ground. Not only not able to get to him inside the pocket, he's able to extend the play with his legs and pick up a huge, long 1st down.
He'll take off again. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the 1st down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. This one complete right side. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. They're at the 17-yard line now for 1st and 10. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Here's a 2nd and 6. Now they'll set up to throw. This one complete to Dorsett. And this drive's going to continue. He's taken down, but they are set up with 1st and goal. Throwing now from the gun. He's going to keep it, and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. A terrific way to start this one. Not only a touchdown, but a nice Long march down the field makes it a long walk back to the bench for the defense.
Mike, that's about as good as you can imagine starting a game offensively. To be able to sustain that many plays and be able to cap it off with a touchdown, that is a dream start for this offense.
The extra point is up and through, and the visitors will take a 7-0 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This will be returned from the 6. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Here's the Chicago offense taking the field for the first time. Leading this offense, their veteran quarterback.
A lot of things jump off the tape when you watch last week, Mike, but it was really just the overall execution of the game plan that stuck out the most. I mean, not only did he get them in the end zone a handful of times, he protected the ball, and he routinely exploited the weaknesses that they found during the week on film. He's going to be looking to do the same thing over these next 4 quarters. If he's successful, we're going to have a shot to leave here with another win.
That one good for a dozen and a very quick first down. They'll look to throw. That one is caught by Campbell. And he's close to a first down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on first down. A good spot here. 2nd and a yard. He'll look to throw. Quick hitting slant there. And they'll get him down after a gain of 5, but that is enough for a first down. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. And he's not going to get too far. Tackled after a gain of just a yard. Here's a 2nd and 9. Back to the air one more time. To the right side here, pass is caught. 12 yards on that hookup. First down, Chicago. This one, complete to Campbell. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. One knocked away. It is incomplete. Very good job defensively. Stayed right with him and will bring up 3rd down. Taking off. He'll try to get there.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why.
And he's going to take it into the end zone. It's a touchdown. There is a penalty marker down, but it looks like this one's going to hold up.
Offside. Defense. That penalty is declined.
Now, the extra point. The kick is good. And the Pioneers come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. From the 6, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this first quarter. A touchdown apiece here in the first quarter of play. all even on the scoreboard. And EA Sports NFL Sunday returns after this. And he's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down.
So after picking up some positive yardage on first down, they end up going backwards on second. That sack now brings up third and long, and what most of the time is a very pass-happy situation makes them very one-dimensional.
Encroachment, defense. Still third down.
The penalty yardage certainly helps. Now it's third down, and they need 5. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throw away.
I'm always curious how defenses come back on the field after allowing a touchdown on the previous possession, and so far I'm liking what I see. There's no heads being held low. There's no dwelling and thinking back to that last drive. They've come out and completely dominated this next possession.
The Tigers line up for the punt. Looking up through the raindrops. No issue there, though. Fair catch, called for, and taken successfully. The offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. He had the touchdown pass on the opening drive, and as we take a look at the NFL leaders in TD passes coming in, he's right there among the best in the league. What more could you ask for on first down? Nice run of 8, setting up second and short. They'll turn and hand this one off. And he'll take this one forward for about 3, and that's a first down. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. Quick throw, taken in, and they're going to work this down inside the 45. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. From out of the gun, he'll throw. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
You just can't say enough about how hard it is to play cornerback in today's modern NFL, Mike. I mean, not only are these wide receivers better than ever, but the way the rules are written, you're really out there on an island with not a lot of options. Your technique has to be perfect. Your timing has to be perfect. It's exactly what we saw here, and he makes a great play on the ball.
The Tigers offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll try to break out of this deadlock. We are all even at 7 as they start this drive, first and 10. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
If there's any silver lining for this drive, Mike, it's the fact that at least this sack occurred on an early down. So I guess technically they have a chance to claw themselves out of this hole, but that's the 3rd sack of the game. This defense doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
This pass complete to Tompkins. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up third down. He'll try and get there on the ground. And that's a veteran quarterback doing what veterans do. Don't take the extra hit. Got the first down, get down. The drive continues. Going back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Gonna lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he's going to be swallowed up again. Back-to-back runs. Back-to-back losses. Now it's third down. He keeps it himself. Now this defense will use the first of their timeouts. Here's their punter now. He's on for the second time. He'll try to get something inside the 10. And a pretty good punt there. The fair catch taken right around the 11-yard line. So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. This will start from the 12, trying to put a drive together here. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. Quick throw, out wide, it's caught.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
They'll throw out of the gun. Quickly to the outside and complete.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback in their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
They'll look to throw yet again. He's got his man on the in route. Yes, taken in over the middle. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. He runs with it.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold him to just a short gain.
Here's 2nd and 9. He'll run again. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play him man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away. And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well, you're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
This taken just shy of the goal line. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. And they'll elect not to run another play. Instead, just take a knee and take this on into the locker room. So we're at halftime with just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando now, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Michael, we'll get back to you and Greg in just a little bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll begin out in Houston, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. The Oilers are hanging in there in the playoff race as they jump above 500 now to 4-3 on the year.
Coach, thank you, and the rain only intensifying as the teams are back out here for what figures to be a sloppy second half to come. Now return coming from the 7. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Pioneers offense looking to get back to work as we begin this third quarter. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Here's a run to begin this third quarter. Fighting off defenders here. He'll churn forward and pick up 3. 2nd and 7. They'll stick with him again. Able to make one man miss, but that's all. They get him. Take him down behind the line.
How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back? But not this guy. Does a great job staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings him down for a loss.
Good job breaking the pocket and going for 14 yards, and most importantly, a 1st down.
These are the plays that are just crushing for a defense. Here you are, you think you're about to make a big stop, force 4th down, and get the football back, but instead you let the quarterback get loose. He picks up the 1st down with his legs, and now you got to defend a fresh set of downs.
To the air now on 1st and 10. It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. They face 2nd down and 7. A handoff as they try to run it here. A gain there of 10 yards. 1st down, Chicago.
This is where you have to be careful, Mike. You find yourself winning in the second half. Human instinct says, all right, let's just sit on the ball and protect the lead and let the clock run out. You can't do that. Stay aggressive. Do what got you here. Continue to mix the run with the pass. Keep your foot on the gas and try to extend this lead.
And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Changing direction there as he's able to pick up 3. They'll look to pick this up 3rd and a yard. Open man, right side. He's got it. And he's going to pick up the 1st down. He knew where that marker was and made sure he got beyond it.
Really just comes down to everybody understanding the situation. You realize, how many yards do I need to get for the 1st down? And just make sure at least one of my receivers is past the sticks. That's where he went with the ball, and they're able to convert.
Quick throw here is complete. And he's close to another 1st down as he's brought down just shy of the marker. Here's 2nd and 2. Back to throw. And that ball led him too far, maybe too wide. Out of bounds, incomplete. Looking to convert for the third time on this drive. They'll need another here. It's 3rd and 2. Try to pick this one up on the ground. It'll be a pickup of 10. First down, Chicago.
We've seen this trend throughout the league, Mike. Offensively, everyone wants to have depth at the running back position. Yeah, it's great to have one guy, but if you could have 2 or 3 that can all come in and contribute on the ground, that's the goal, and we're seeing it here.
And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Now a give up the middle, and he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. They'll empty out the backfield and line up for 3rd and 3. And he'll take it on in. Touchdown, Pioneers. That's the 5th touchdown for him on the year. They'll line it up to kick the extra point. He's got it. And the Pioneers will get out in front 17-7. The kickoff team is out on the field. And we're back to it as the kick's away. This one taken at the 7. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Tigers offense back onto the field for their next possession. Greg, simply put, they've been off their game right from the jump.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just the way the game goes, and you can't really put your finger on it, but you feel good coming out of the week of practice. You feel really good about your game plan, and then once the ball's kicked off, nothing seems to work, and it's very frustrating because you can look great one week, and then the next week be completely taken out of your game.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. He'll throw it left and has his running back. And he is out of bounds, but not until he's inside the 40-yard line. That pickup, good for 29 yards.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. A hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete. Trying to set up that screen, but the rush got there too quickly. Shotgun snap as they'll throw it on 3rd down. That's caught. Left side. It's complete. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15.
So in regards to being used in the passing game, there's really 2 types of backs in this league. There's the check down back. He's able to just take the short gains and try to pick up more yards after catch. And then there's the back that can be used as a weapon. Man, when you got a guy like that in your passing game, it is a handful for defenses.
Handoff here, up the middle. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this 3rd quarter. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. try again. It's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. This one caught by Tompkins. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. Now they'll set up to throw. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the 4th quarter, with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game. And they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball. And let's see if they can take advantage of it. Anytime you find yourself kicking in these elements, Mike, you just can't take anything for granted, especially when it comes to your plant foot, your balance, your control, your footing. It's so important, and give credit. He does a great job here, able to put that one through.
And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The Pioneers' offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, they got the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see, can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole?
The Tigers offense getting set to get back to work. They can get back into this quickly now. Very short field ahead. It is 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. Short pass taken in by the tight end.
Not every pass has to be thrown downfield. You can rely on the run after catch, especially a big body like this tight end. Get the ball in his hands early and let him pick up the rest after the catch.
Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he'll be taken down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late. And this is a great example of why it's so important on defense to sprint to the ball. His ability to make people miss is hard for one guy to get him on the ground. But when you can get everybody to the ball, eventually you can take him down, and in this case, they do it for a loss.
What a move! He's in! Touchdown, Tigers! A huge touchdown there in the 4th quarter, and now just a point away from tying the game.
And that's one of those drives, Mike, where you know your best is needed. Can you come through here late and give your team a chance? They're an extra point away from tying this thing up, and we got ourselves a ball game.
So they're not level yet. A critical extra point attempt to follow. The kick is good, and that will tie this game here in the 4th quarter. All even. 4th quarter, everything we've wanted. What's in store in the remaining time? Now an opening past the 30. A good return as he takes it across the 30. Pioneers offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. This game all even now following that touchdown a moment ago, and they'll look to retake the lead on this drive. It starts with 1st down. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target.
When you put plays like this on tape, it sends a message to every defender across the league. When you play this offense and this guy has the ball, you better bring it when you come to contact him, because if not, you're going to be on the wrong end of it.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Early in this drive, they're trying to establish some offensive rhythm, but now after that second down sack, really puts them in a must-pass. You don't want to be in 3rd and long very often in the NFL. It's not a very high percentage conversion rate, and with the danger of a 3 and out, they better hold up here in pass protection.
Now he'll run it. Strong. And they will finally track him down inside the 40-yard line.
At this point, it just gets frustrating for the defense, right? I mean, you've been watching this guy make big play after big play all game long, not only on the quarterback-designed runs, but it's the scrambles that can really break the back of a defense, and we saw it again here.
1st and 10 now from the 36. He'll look to throw. There's that man again, another catch. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. They'll look to throw. He's going to tuck it and go. Can't beat those legs. 13-yard pickup. A scramble leads to a 1st down.
We've seen this quarterback have some effective plays with his legs all game today, Mike. He knows when to stay in there and look to pass, but he also knows when it's time to tuck it and go, and he's able to pick up good yardage there.
This one complete right side.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
This one, complete to Campbell. And this drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up 1st and goal for his team. Now, faking the give. And that is caught in the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Chicago. Greg, every touchdown counts the same, but the ones you get in the 4th quarter, they are the ones that feel a little more important.
Yeah, now that pressure shifts to your defense, your offense was able to go out and get the lead here late. Does your defense have enough left in them to get one more stop?
The PAT, up and good. And the Pioneers will go up by 7. So the lead is 7 now. Here in this 4th quarter, the tie has been broken. Let's see what happens on this kickoff. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense ready to get back at it. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a 1st down. They'll send a tight end in motion. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. 2 minutes remain in the 4th quarter. Greg and I back on EA Sports. After this, it is 2nd down and 5. They'll drop to throw. This one complete to Dorsett. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the 1st down. Crowd noise rises. Big play here. 3rd and 1. Throwing now from the gun. And he's out of bounds with the 1st down. So they get a new set of downs. And just as importantly, stop the clock.
When you decide to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, typically, Mike, what you're doing is you start from the top down. If you have the big shot downfield, take it. If not, the quarterback works through his progression, finds the medium target, picks up a 1st down.
And he's out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, out inside the 20. It's a big play when they needed it the most. 33 yards.
It seems like the best offenses in the league all rely heavily on yards after the catch. And this is a great example of why, if you can deliver an accurate pass on the move with the speed and the elusiveness of some of these guys in the league, it is a handful in the open field for the defense to tackle.
And that ball incomplete over the middle.
All right, So this is why you get paid the big bucks. These are the possessions as a quarterback you need to deliver for your team. Everybody talks about 2-minute. Everybody drills it every single week. But when it comes down to this moment in the game, your quarterback needs to be on point. And after that first down incompletion, it just makes things that much harder.
And the crowd a major factor now as we get to third down. This one is hauled in. Are the feet in bounds? Yes! Touchdown, Tigers.
All right, so Mike, now the interesting thing is, do you want to take the lead with still enough time for your opponent to get the ball back to go to try to win it? I think I'm kicking the extra point here, tie the game. I don't want my opponent in a fast 2-minute mode to try to win this game in regulation. Now I'm playing for overtime.
So they're not level yet. A critical extra point attempt to follow. The extra point is good. A big one as we are tied late in this football game. Tie game. Still time to break that tie, though, as you see. Maybe run a 2-minute offense. And the kick's in the air. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And we show you some of the highlights, and there have been plenty to choose from. 3 touchdown passes and some other big-time throws as well. Certainly dialed in and on top of his game right throughout this one. Here is 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. That one is caught by Campbell. They'll come up now for 2nd down. From out of the gun, he'll throw. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. A lot riding on this play. Tie game, final minute, 3rd down. Now he takes off. Now this offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining here in the 4th. Throwing right, it's taken in. And the tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, they'll set up to throw. Now a 2nd timeout called by the defense. And it comes with 36 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. And it's 1st and 10. They'll stick to the ground. And a nice run there on 1st down, getting 8. Setting up 2nd and 2. So, a big one coming for their veteran kicker. This to win the game. This kick is good. And it's celebration time. A walk-off victory on the game's final play. So the fans gonna head home happy. It's a win for the hometown squad. They get themselves into field goal range for one final shot. And the kicker delivers. They avoid overtime and come away with a 3-point victory. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.
Choose the team you want to start your franchise with. Use the options on the left. Choose the team you want to start your franchise with. Use the option. It's week 7 of the 2038 season, and we've got the Condors, leader at quarterback. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Condors and the Sentinels, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the South American country of Argentina and its capital city, Buenos Aires.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And led out by their veteran quarterback. He's been around a while. They don't celebrate birthdays for him. They just cut him up, see how many rings he's got around the middle. He has been in the league a long time.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Daniels.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
A nice pickup there, 10 yards.
Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Got the defense on their heels. 2 first downs in a row and now a pickup of 8. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 133 yards.
And when you lead the league in rushing for this stretch of time, now you take on the identity. You now lead the team and everything runs through you in terms of offense.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Needing a few yards. Here's Matthews.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
Off play action. Collins firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Now a give, right side. Daniels. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Daniels. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Up the middle they go. Cherry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. 2nd and 6. They run the counter. Cherry. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. They bring their punter out there now as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. The Sentinels offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. And he's run well here in the first half of the season, no doubt. You can see the graphic. NFL leader in rushing coming into the weekend. The offense back out there at the line ready for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Collins. He finds his man, complete. That's Beck. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Here is 3rd down and 4. Looking to throw, Collins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Back onto the field comes this offense ready for their 2nd drive. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Richards. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Off the play fake. Wilhelm fights him off. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. But you look at this defense, They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make, because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Back to throw. Wilhelm. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Now the Rio offense set to take over. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Up to the 20.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Looking to throw. Collins. Going underneath for Matthews. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Powerful running. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Buenos Aires about set for another try on offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum? A promising sign there from an offense that hasn't done a whole lot to this point. Nice job to locate the open receiver, and it's good yardage and a 1st down to open the drive.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Wilhelm. Dancing to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Richards. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now the Rio offense set to take over. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Off play action. Collins. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This taken in right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now the Rio offense set to take over.
And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Collins. Over the middle, complete. It's Wolf. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Operating from the gun. Collins. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. Cherry. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's Richards. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Back to throw. Wilhelm throwing the out route incomplete. That's Richards. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
Ball start, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Up the middle they go. Cherry. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
Behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 15.
Looking to throw. Wilhelm. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebacker.
Now the ball comes loose.
And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble.
And his kick is indeed good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now the Rio offense set to take over. But Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches.
He finds his man, complete. That's Wolf. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole.
Now a 2nd and 6. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
One more go for this offense in the first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue.
Throwing to start the drive. Wilhelm. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll begin out in Houston, where you see the final score there. The Oilers are hanging in there in the playoff race as they jump above 500 now to 4-3 on the year. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Operating from the gun, Wilhelm. He finds his man, complete. That's Richards. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll leave him with third and a full yard to go. Now a give, right side. Cherry. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Now a handoff up the middle. Cherry, and he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Back to throw. Wilhelm. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Wilhelm. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Cherry. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Operating from the gun, Wilhelm. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Wilhelm. Touchdown. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Condors take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 17-3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And that's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
He finds his man, complete. That's Stanley. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Off play action. Collins. He'll buy some time right. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Collins now, off the bootleg. To the sideline and incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Sentinels are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter.
On that third down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Back to throw. Wilhelm. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards the pickup there.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
on first down. Cherry. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down. Wilhelm. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack. And they'll send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 18. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
Now the Rio offense set to take over. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
2nd down and 6 now.
Stretch play to Matthews. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
And on now is the punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
Buenos Aires about set for another try on offense. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Throwing to start the drive. Wilhelm. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Cherry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. Cherry.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10.
So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
The situation for him offensively as follows. Down 20-10, exactly 1 minute remaining. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down.
Operating from the gun, Collins.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And here's Collins from the gun on 3rd down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, there's a time and a place for everything. Down 2 scores late in the 4th. I get it. Now is the time to throw it downfield, but that one might just write an end to this ball game.
Yeah, I hear all the time how critical I am of play calls. Not in this situation. No other choice, really. Look at the clock, look at the scoreboard. Had to press it and take a chance.
The Buenos Aires offense back out now.
And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 42nd mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for Buenos Aires,
they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they will hit the road next week.
Meanwhile, for Rio,
they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.